Hello, and welcome to the Risky Racing Podcast. Steve is having a breast reduction surgery at the moment, so unfortunately you have me, Gunther Steiner, Reese, the sweary one, but we shall go with the flow. And joining me today we have Don Parker. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm very good. I feel very privileged. Oh my lord, English is hard. Very privileged to be here on the podcast today. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's alright. Well, no one else has been about, so I thought, wow, we'll drag Mr. Parker in.
Look what the cat dragged in.
He can talk. Yeah, he can talk, Yorkshire and all that. So, yeah, right, what should we talk about?
Racing is normally a good topic.
Should we talk about racing?
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's overrated, to be honest with you. We'll talk about racing, so let's start off with you. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Dom and I'm an alcoholic. Well, what do you want to know?
Well, how did you get into sim racing, or what started off the buzz?
It's probably quite similar to Ollie's story, to be fair, when I was listening to that episode, and sort of, obviously lockdown happened and everything, and I was put on furlough for quite a while, and suddenly found I had many more hours to do not very much with than I knew what to do with. And honestly, at that point, sim racing had never interested me whatsoever in terms of watching the broadcasts and stuff like that. Maybe just because, obviously, like with F1, you sort of grow up with it and you get to know the drivers and you get your favourites and stuff like that, don't you? Whereas with sim racing, suddenly you've got these grids full of people that you've never heard of, potentially racing cars that you've never even seen before, on tracks that you've never seen before, and blah, blah, blah. But then the Jimmy Broadbent by Jardia races started popping up in my suggested feed on YouTube, and eventually, I think it was Jimmy's Indy 500 popped up one day as a live stream. I thought, oh, jack this, I've got nothing better to do, let's see what this is all about. And like with so many people, I guess that sort of lit the spark, got the bug, and it sort of escalated from there. So probably spent about a year just watching, and then eventually,
lurking.
Yeah, exactly, ! Lurk, and then finally took the plunge, got myself a PC, got the old Logitech intro set up, and yeah, that was sort of February 21, I think that was, so about a year and a half ago.
So you are very, very new blood.
Very fresh meat. Very fresh meat, yeah.
So you didn't really have any interest in racing before, or you just, if it was on, say, the telly, you'd watch it?
I've watched just about everything for as long as I can remember. I was sort of brought up on F1, watching that from before I can even remember watching. One of my earliest memories of watching was when Shuey broke both his legs in... That was on like the warm-up lap, wasn't it? That wasn't even in racing conditions.
Yeah. Was that when he was at Benetton?
I think it was Ferrari still. I think it got to Ferrari by then. I honestly can't even remember the circumstances now. I can't even remember what track it was, but I'm fairly sure it was the warm-up lap of the race. And did his brakes fail, or did he just make a mess of it?
Let's have a look.
The old googly bear.
Let's get old Google up. Wikipedia. That'll have it. Not the skiing accident. We don't.
No.
We're well aware of that one. 1969. If I put ankle, no, broken. Ferrari constructor title, at the British Grand Prix, at high speed in Stoke-on, his car's rear brakes failed, sending him off the track into the barrier, resulting in a broken leg. And he was replaced by Mika Salo.
Was he indeed?
So yeah. Silverstone into Stowe.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's filled in some grey areas. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't have a brake failure into Stowe.
No, that doesn't. Well, evidently it doesn't tend to end well, does it?
No. Unless you're Charles Leclerc, then you get space. Stir that pot. So, who would you say if we stick with Formula One for now, would be your favourite Formula One driver from across the board, across the years?
Well, I mean, Shuey was my hero growing up, so you know that's got to be the primary answer straight out of the hat.
Yeah.
But I've always tended to like an underdog as well. So like when it was Vettel versus Webber, it was all about Webber.
Yeah.
When it was Button versus Barrichello, I was actually rooting more for Barrichello because I thought it'd be awesome to see him win a championship after being in Shuey's shadows for all those years.
Yeah, I mean he got fucked over by Ferrari.
Yes.
I mean, nothing unusual there because Charles and Carlos are being fucked by Ferrari at the moment.
I'm sure we'll get there shortly, won't we?
You can't not say what is clearly happening all the time, unfortunately.
No.
You know, if you say there's no issues with your pit wall team and you put a car out on the medium tyres, was it mediums? Yeah, it was mediums, wasn't it? Put them out on the mediums. No, hards.
Hards at the end, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, put them out on hards on a track that's not warming up. It's game over, isn't it?
Honestly, like I'm not like I'm not chief engineer. I'm not some hotshot strategist or anything. But like there probably wasn't a single person at that racetrack that thought that was a good idea, other than Ferrari.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Horner probably thought that was a brilliant idea, as well as Mercedes.
Oh, they'll have been laughing.
I mean, if we're to be honest, Mercedes have not particularly been at the front of the challenge, really, have they, this season?
No, but
they've had some good performances.
Yeah, I do think they're getting there, though.
They are getting there. They are getting there. Slowly. I don't think this season, they'll probably settle for third constructors.
Yeah, if they can pinch a win along the way, I think they'd be. I mean, that pole from Russell was just
they come close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they come close, really, didn't they?
But I think Ferrari are making it evidently clear that they are incapable of taking the challenge to Red Bull, so that we need Mercedes to catch up just so we actually get a decent fight.
Yeah, because you don't want, like, we've had Mercedes winning it for the past 7 years.
Yes.
And then we had Ferrari before that. And then, if it's going to go now, Red Bull going to win it for the next 7 years. It's just going to bore people.
Red Bull did have that stint with Vettel. Was that 4 on the bounce they managed?
4 on the bounce, yeah. But you need it to... Even though the racing is closer, there's still that performance gap, which is always going to be the same.
Yes, I think the performance gap isn't as vast as clearly the strategic gap. I think, how many times is this now that Ferrari shot themselves in the foot? So disregard the mechanicals. How many times have they now stitched themselves up out of a good result?
I'll have to take my socks off because I'm going to run out of fingers. It's too many, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm fairly sure it's already been mentioned on the podcast. It was, I believe, a Gordy Much quote relayed by Jimmy. Gordy says, like, Charles is ready to win the championship, but Ferrari just clearly are not. They're just Ferrari not ready for it. Yeah. Which is weird because they're the team that's been around the longest and they have won previously. Yeah. It's been a massive change since the last guy, or the last 2 team principals. Yeah.
Can't remember their names now.
Well, Ross Brawn was big back in the day, wasn't he?
Yeah. I can't think of his name. Was it Briatore?
No, he was Renault, wasn't he?
Who was in charge of the FIA? Todt.
Yes.
Todt?
Yeah.
Him. He was something to do with Ferrari, wasn't he? Was he the principal?
Something like that. Was it him and Ross Brawn were there together in the glory days?
John Todt? Yeah, John Todt. Do. Peugeot, Rari, general manager at Rari, 94 to 2007, and CEO and special advisor. Oh. Yeah, because Ross Brawn, he left Ferrari, didn't he? And basically set up Merck, essentially, with Brawn GP.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to Honda. Oh yeah, correct. Yeah, he did. He went Honda, didn't he?
Well, he went to Honda as it turned into Brawn, didn't he?
End of 2007, it was thought that Brawn was to join the big spending Red Bull outfit as part of the blah blah blah. Yeah, well, it says Honda, but I don't know what it's got to do with. Oh, no, correction. Yeah, sorry. He was going to join Red Bull in 2007, at the end of 2007, but it was announced that he was become the new team principal of Honda F1. And then Honda goes bye-bye, and then he made Brawn.
Yes. Rather than taking a year of gardening leave or whatever, he thought, I'll actually get my hands mucky for a year.
Yeah, I'll make my own team. You know, you think we'd researched this before we started talking, but, you know.
No!
Professionals. So, yeah. We'll come off the teams. What do you think of the silly season starting at the moment then, with the drivers? Any predictions?
I've given up trying to predict stuff like that. I mean, we've just seen the absolute clown circus of Oscar the Pastry in the midweek to follow up the clown circus of Ferrari at the weekend. So, I mean, you'd think it couldn't get any worse, but I'm cautious to say those words nowadays.
Yeah, well, I think Piastri's going to go to McLaren.
That's what it's looking like.
Gasly's going to go to Alpine.
I think we'll see Danny Rick going across the pond. I think he'll go to hasn't he mentioned wanting to go to a NASCAR? Hasn't he spoke about doing NASCAR before?
Oh, I don't know if don't think it's his sort. He'd be better off doing V8 supercars.
Yeah, he would. That would be epic to see him in one of those. Because Zach Brown's got ties with, is it Walkinshaw Andretti United in the V8s?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
Because they mentioned I think it was in the lockdown period, they mentioned Zach Brown was interviewed at the start of the Bathurst 1000 one year, saying how much he'd like to get like Lando and Ricciardo as a guest spot in it. And obviously that's never happened, but yeah, I could see Ricciardo doing that. I think he'd be well suited going back home for a bit.
Yeah. Thing is, it'd give him some time to recoup, which I think he needs, really. But yeah, it's really mixed up now. It's going to be an interesting 2023 season.
It certainly is. I mean, the cars are still developing, obviously, so they're still getting faster. You never know which of the kind of midfield teams are suddenly going to find something.
Yeah, because I believe, was it Mick Schumacher was meant to be not signing on again with the Ferrari Driver Academy.
Oh, really? Not heard that one.
Seen that, whether it's a rumour or not, who knows? But if that is true, that's going to be interesting for him. Because I know Vettel wanted him to replace him at Aston.
Yes.
But part of me thinks that Haas are probably in a better position than what Aston Martin are.
Yeah, possibly, with the way it's going.
You know, Haas this season have put in some strong performances, really, for what was the shittest team from last year. And admittedly, they didn't really put no money into that car because they were saving, what they had for the new regulations. But it's going to be, I don't know with that one. I don't know if that's a good move for him, really. But we shall see.
Yeah, I don't know, with the older drivers though, I don't know if they're just looking for a nice cosy place to wind down for a few years, and like Alonso just wanted a bit of stability for a bit longer, didn't he? Like, it seems like he didn't want to get kicked out of the game in 1 year. He wanted a 2-year contract, so he's gone wherever would offer him a 2-year contract. Yeah, I think Alonso's, if I read between the lines a little bit and make an assumption, I think he's having argument issues with Ocon. Yeah.
There seems to be a bit of conflict there. But we shall see. It's all up in the air.
I tell you what, I would like to see, just going back to Danny Rick to the V8s, would be how those guys' pace actually matches up to a tried and tested F1 driver. Because Scott McLaughlin obviously went across to IndyCar, and his first season he was pretty much nowhere. Same with Grosjean. But then he was leading the championship for a couple of weeks this season, and he's top 10 consistently, top 5 quite often, fighting for the wins and the podiums. So
didn't he win?
He won the opener, and didn't he win the oval race straight after that as well? So I think he won the first 2 races.
Yeah, won the Indy 500. He won STP, St. Petersburg.
Yes.
Florida. It's Florida. Right, okay, I was going to say. And... what track is that? Mid-Ohio. Oh, yeah, Mid-Ohio.
Yeah.
So he won the Florida road race and the Mid-Ohio, which is another road. Oh, they're all... Yeah.
Or maybe it was P2 at the oval, second round. I think he got beaten on the last lap.
He was P2 at Texas Speedway.
Yes, but literally he only lost that on the last corner because of lap traffic being in his way.
But that's not bad. He's 7th at the moment with 274 points.
So when he was in the V8s with Van Gisbergen, those two were sort of like absolute sparring partners. And so it'd then be interesting to see Danny Rick go into the V8s. I would expect him to then be the fastest and faster than Van Gisbergen. So then you wonder how he'd match up against Scotty Mack and the rest of the IndyCar cohort at that point. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. There's I think it's driving a car, racing a car, but it's different, isn't it?
So different.
It's so different with, you're going from your high downforce or aero dependent car to what is essentially a boat with a V8 slapped in the front of it. It's going to make things interesting. But yeah, it's going to be. I think it's definitely going to be worth watching the silly season at the moment. I think there's going to be a lot more to come out in the next couple of weeks.
Do you
We're
know
not even
what?
halfway really through the season.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Leclerc jump ship, but I just don't know where he'd go. But
the only logical place would be Red Bull, Mercedes.
Yeah, he must be sick of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we know Sainz won't go to Red Bull. He's been fucked there before.
Yes.
But I think Sainz is happy to take the shit that comes with being at Ferrari at the moment.
Well, he's
to be able to say I'm a Ferrari driver.
Yeah, he's sort of got no expectations on him as kind of the implied number 2, has he? So he can just rock up on a weekend. All the pressure and all the cameras are going to old Charlie boy, and when he pulls when he pulls a result out of the bag, then he can just lap it all up.
Yeah. Because where was his last win? I can't remember now. Was it Silverstone? No. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think it was Silverstone, wasn't it? Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, because that's when Max ran Leclerc off the road a few times, right?
Yeah. I can't remember. Let's have a look. Formula 1. Yeah, Silverstone it was, yeah.
But am I right in saying that was his only win of the season, wasn't it, for Sainz?
Yeah. But you look at the results here. Bahrain, 2nd. Saudi, 3rd. Austria and Imola, retirements.
Mechanical though, right?
Miami, 3, at 3rd. Spain, Barcelona, 4th. Monza, Monaco, 2nd. Azerbaijan, retirement. I said Austria, didn't it? It's Australia, sorry. Canada, 2nd. Obviously Silverstone he won. Austria, well, we saw the We saw the fireball.
Yeah.
Paul Ricard 5th, Hungary 4th. I mean, they're good results.
He's not doing bad. But then to say he's
But
in the best
where would
or
he
second
be
best
without
car.
those retirements?
Yeah. But
You know,
how many of them
where
were
would he
driver
be?
error and how many were mechanical? Because Leclerc's binned it a
think
couple
they
of times, hasn't he?
I think they were all mechanical,
Yeah,
weren't they?
I think they were.
And let's compare him to Charlie Boy.
Charles the Chair.
Leclerc. Why don't you just give me a nice, easy link to Charles Leclerc without me having to type? Professional. Right, Wiki Charles. Go down to his results. Yeah, see, Bahrain first, Saudi second, Australia first, Imola 6th, Miami 2nd, Spain retirement, Monaco 4th, Azerbaijan retirement, Canada 5th, GBR 4, Austria 1st, France retired, Hungary 6th. So, yeah, what happened to him at Barcelona then? Did the engine go kaput?
Leclerc out of the lead, yeah.
Because he's been having issues with his throttle, hasn't he? Apparently, his throttle's been sticking. That was the issue. He was having that at Austria, wasn't he?
Barcelona was the one where he was leading by like 10 seconds, didn't it? And then it just died.
So, what happened to him at Azerbaijan? It wasn't the crash into the castle section like he did last time, was it?
No. Oh, in fact, that was another... Was that this brake-by-wire failure? Was that him, or was that the Saint?
God, I can't remember. The thing is, they've had so many bloody issues, you can't keep up with them.
Oh, no! Azerbaijan was when, like, every single Ferrari engine blew up, right? Like, the Saubers went in it. Is it Saubers?
I thought... Let's see if I can get the race results. 2022... Right.
Sauber aren't even called Sauber now, are they? They're Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo. Well, it is Alfa Romeo Sauber, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Carlos Sainz pulled over hydraulics issue. Lap 8. Leclerc. Joe Guan Yu retired lap 23. Hydraulics issue. Kevin Magnussen car also had engine issues resulting in smoke. Pulled over just before turn 15. Blah blah blah. Yuki Tsunoda's rear wing split. Yeah, remember that. Lance Stroll was called in to retire due to high oscillations. Verstappen won the race. Perez finished second. George Russell third. Hamilton fourth. Gasly fifth. Vettel, Alonso, Ricciardo, Norris, Ocon completed the top 10. So yeah, it was, yeah. Hydraulics, power unit, and then vibration for Stroll. Shocking.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really wild.
I don't know. Well, I think that's enough F1 talk. Shall we talk about the limit of adhesion and your involvement with it? Or how you got into it? Let's start with that, shall we? So,
certainly can.
Because we're fairly new compared to you and the rest of the... I mean, you've been there longer than we have.
I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, it has to be.
Because you guys were racing the GT3 season season 3.
Oh, I don't know
and
if
I
we were
only
in
arrived.
season 3.
When was the race at Barcelona when the best Ollie TM took out the lesser Ollie?
Well, that was the race where I won the sprint.
And where was that?
Barcelona.
Because I've never raced Barcelona GT3 LOA. Like, that was before I joined.
Was it season 4?
Season 4 started at Road America with the orange and blue risky liveries.
Season 4 was Silverstone, because that's where I come P2.
What are we on to right now? We're just started season 5 then. Oh, it's all blurring into one.
I know. Oh no, we must have been in... Hang on, because we're on the thumbnail. Our car's on the thumbnail, so we must be in bloody... Yeah, we was in...
I tell you what.
We was in season 3.
Yeah. My first LOA race was the Battle of the Big Wings at Spa.
Oh, we have been in there longer than you then, but not by a lot. We must have joined around the same time.
Some of the freshest meat going, you know.
Yeah, because we didn't. I don't remember racing Brands Hatch. Yeah, Barcelona. So I joined round 6 of season 2 of the GT3.
Yeah.
Steve, I don't know when Steve joined, but he was in before us.
Because who was the first risky to arrive?
Yeah, Steve. And then Steve opened the floodgates for the rest of the reprobates.
And we've never been safe since.
Wow. You know, we keep it breezy, don't we? Keep it breezy. Keep it entertaining for everyone. So yeah. So you started then season 3? No, season 4. Season 3.
It must have been season 3 because this is the 3rd season of me doing the videos, and we're just gone into season 5, haven't we? So I've done 5, we did 4 last season, and 3 before that, and 3 started at Road America, where...
yes, it did.
Is that where Mike spun out of the lead? Is that one?
Oh. you got to narrow it down. Mike spins out the lead a lot.
Oh. I think it was the same season as the Bathurst pit lane as well. So
we don't talk about Bathurst. Yeah, that was where me and Mike were battling each other. Coming up to on the last lap, that was it.
Yes.
Because I remember we had a discussion on Discord, and he said, "I don't want you to make this easy for me," and I said, "I never fucking planned to." So I'm not going to let you pass. We might be in the same stable, but we're not the team. I'm earning for orange, you're earning for blue.
It gets spicy at times, doesn't it? That stable but not the same team gets quite spicy sometimes.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, we're a collective team, but we race under 2. It's like Alpha Tauri, Red Bull. Or yes. Toro Rosso Red Bull back in the day. You know, me and Ollie might not necessarily be the quickest drivers, so we thought, well, we'll let the 2 fast boys go in, and we'll just be average. But we do alright for ourselves. Me and Ollie. Yeah. You know, we have lovers' tiffs all the time, but that's standard, really. Yeah, we all do our bit. So, when you joined the league, did you join for GT3 or did you join for the Formula 3? Or both?
I found Jules in a different Discord, and I can't remember if I came for the videos or if I did. No, I think I must have come for the racing. Right. But very early on, I sort of put my hat in the ring to Jules and Gareth and sort of said, you know, if you need any help with the videos, then I'm willing to do that. And Jules was, I think, relieved is an understatement, because at that point he'd been making all the videos.
Yeah.
And so basically bit my hand off before I'd even finished the sentence, I think. But I think I must have joined for the GT3 initially. Mm-hmm. But you know, I just enjoy racing in general, so pretty much any race that gets put up nowadays, I'll try and make.
Yeah.
Time constraints allow, sort of thing. And not only that, but also host some daft races when we can as well. Just because I'd much rather spend an evening racing with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 guys that I know than 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 randomers in a public lobby that don't care if they punt you in the first lap because they'll never see you again.
Yep.
And
Well, this is my argument when people start going, well, I've got 3k I rating, I've got this, I've got that. But I rating means fuck all. Because I'm only 1.7, but I don't do any public races. But I'm always up, not competing for wins, but I'm up there, usually within the top 15.
well, you're not in the Club 1500 split, are you? Let's put it that way.
No. And I'm only 200 I rating above that.
Yes.
You know,
In
it's
fact,
like,
your actual I rating, I think, is lower than some of the guys that are in Club 1500 at the moment. So
probably, yeah. I just don't enjoy public races anymore. I'll do the specials when I can. Obviously, things are different now that I've got a 1-year-old. I can't give up all my time anymore like I used to. So, you know, it's like I don't have time to race. I can put aside a Sunday every week to do the GT3 and the Formula 3, and I know the standards of driving, and that's good for me.
yes.
And I know I can go on the Discord and call someone a turkey if they crashed into me doing something stupid. Usually it's Mike and Ollie and Steve. But then if people listen to this podcast who've watched our YouTube races from when we've streamed the races we're doing, generally 9 times out of 10 we're arguing with each other whilst we're racing anyway.
Yes.
So
yeah, you don't need to take to Discord to call those three a turkey because it will have happened there and then in the moment.
pretty much, yeah. But we say it with love and affection.
Oh, always.
They're turkeys, but they're our turkeys. You know, and they say the same thing. They like we play hard. We play hard.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, you know, we like a bit of rough and tumble, and we like to play hard. You know, if you come into this Discord, you have to expect a little bit of banter.
Leave your dignity at the front door, I think.
Well, give as good as you get.
Yes.
Because we never say anything that we want to offend people with, and if we do offend, we'll apologise, because that's never the intention. We're here to have a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, we're here to have fun. You leave standards at the door, and you pick them up once you leave the Discord. It's just it's a safe place to have a laugh, have a joke, not take things seriously. Especially if you see, like, some of the stuff in the not safe for work. And we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, shall we talk about the ill-fated TCR season?
Yeah, we can do.
I feel like, you know, that was your love child, and it kind of become my love child with the editing of the videos. But
it's worth pointing out, I think, that it. Trying to pick my words carefully. I don't think my words matter too much. I don't care whether people turn up and race the series. And at the end of the day, like, I'm more than happy to organise it, host it, do the points, do the whatever. We did that as a collective because enough people said, "Oh, a touring car league might be fun." You know, that's at the start of this calendar year when the two new ones, the Civic and the Elantra, got released.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of buzz around them, including in the Discord. Enough people sort of raised their eyebrows at it. We said, "Is anyone interested?" Plenty of people said, "Hell yeah, we're interested." And the first race at Knockhill had like a 30-strong grid?
Yeah, it was the busiest race. It was the hardest race for me to record, apart from Snetterton.
Because there's so much going on, right? Because
some idiot put it in a fog. Not mentioning any names. But yeah, there was so much going on. You couldn't really pick battles.
No.
And it's like,
because the whole thing was a rolling battle.
Yeah, and it's the one reason why I never did replays for the TCRs, because there was too much. You know, and it was such a tight schedule because it was every week, unlike every 2 weeks. It's like, right, well, I need to get this up, get this sent off to be recorded, and then once that's done, I'm pretty much starting on the next race. So that's why it's like I ain't got time to go like with you, what you and Jules do, which is bring up the replays and edit the replays in. I've done it on the Lotus 79 video, but that was a more manageable spread of gaps.
Yeah, and there was
And
no
it's-
time restraints on that, and basically you sort of picked up the reins last minute for doing that video anyway.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. I'm keeping my mouth shut. I don't mind doing it though. Like I said to all the boys who run the league, I said I'm more than happy to help out where I can. The hill climb challenge, which is now turning into a time trial challenge, is coming. Just people just need to be a little bit more patient with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Whilst
real
the-
life's going on, isn't it, to be honest?
God, there's a lot going on at the moment, which I can't say until I know more. But yeah, you know. But a few people know. But until I know what's going on for sure, I'll keep my mouth shut just in case people hear this. Who, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
and don't worry, I'm not going to prison.
Well, not intentionally anyway.
Yeah, not intentionally. Yeah, some of the things I said probably could put me in prison, but but that's for a different podcast. Yeah, I mean, I would have raced TCR. It's just unfortunate that it was Wednesday at like 9:30. I think the races started, when it's along that lines.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to run it late because some of the interest came from our US colleagues.
Our American colleagues, yeah.
So we tried to make it late enough that they could sort of shoot home from work and get there in time, while
Yeah.
still just about being acceptable for UK and EU. But
Yeah.
I think in the end it kind of made it not really good for anyone.
No, I said, well,
And
like I said, I just used to
where-
go on and sing to Steve, Mike, and Ollie while they were racing because I was going to work or at work.
And I think where the races were going to be two shorter races, which made them seem sort of short, whippy, and manageable to do every week, I think pretty soon it became apparent that actually people couldn't commit to every week.
Yeah,
And once people had missed a week, then they were less inclined to do any weeks whatsoever.
that's it. Yeah, and the thing is, people took the whole touring car mentality a little bit too far.
I mean, the big boxes that are, I wouldn't say hard to drive, but different to drive.
Yeah,
But to get an overtake done, you need to be patient and you need to construct a pass. You can't just chuck it in last minute on the brakes. It doesn't work in these. And I
Yeah.
think so many people just sort of ended up getting impatient and, yeah, like you say, taking door banging to
yeah.
too much of an extreme level. And
Yeah.
it just sort of spoiled it a bit in the end.
It did, and it made it really hard to edit because you don't want to put that up on the YouTube and go, this is the standard of racing you're going to get. Obviously, people make mistakes, accidents happen, we know that. But sometimes it gets to that point where it looks like, well, that looks quite intentional.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, you know, we all have disagreements on the track. It's racing, but it's a game. I know I'm going to upset people by calling it a game, but it is a game. It's a simulation, but it's still a game. And that is it.
Yeah, I mean, it lives in the video game sections of,
Yeah.
of, visual entertainment, so...
Yeah, that's it. What else can we talk about?
But it's worth mentioning as well, before we did move on, like, if there was ever enough interest for it to come back, then, drop of a hat, it'll be back again. But
Yeah.
so there's no point going for a season 2 with
Five
five
people.
consistent drivers on the grid,
Yeah. I see. I want to run a 992 Cup following UK Porsche Cup tracks because we got all
Yep.
of them bar Thruxton. Because it'll be the 992 at Alton Park Island is amazing. It is so much fun.
I think the 992 is just sort of a fun car in general, just because it's a challenge, right? Like the GTEs versus the GT3s. Like you've actually got to work to drive them.
Yeah, well, the GT3. Someone in the Discord, I won't mention their name. They know who they are if they listen to this. Said that the Porsche 992 is a washed down GT3 car. Now, how is a car that's got no ABS, no traction control, can kill you if you sneeze on the brakes, and will kill you if you get on the loud pedal too quick, a washed down GT3 car? If you make a mistake, it bites you in the ass.
As evidenced by the Imola round,
Yeah,
the tin tops that's just happened recently.
I mean, I'm not biased at all because I won the first race, but you know, but the car it's a spicy meatball. You make a mistake, you pay for it. Whereas GT3, you make a mistake, you might pay for it a little bit, but you've got so much assist that you don't end up really losing anything for it.
Very forgiving, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Which makes sense, because in the real world, obviously, the gentleman drivers jump into them to drive them.
Yeah. So
they need to be as easy as they possibly can.
If there is enough interest, I would quite happily run a 992 Cup league at British tracks. Could throw in a couple of other tracks depending on the interest.
I was trying to think what sort of track is comparable to Thruxton.
Yeah.
Zolder? Nah.
Let's have a look. I need to see the layout of it.
I know it's got that sort of that sweeping sort of S-ish section, hasn't it, at the start of Thruxton, and then just that awful chicane right at the end.
Well, it's kind of like a bit like Phillip Island almost. Very sweepy, wavy. Yeah, I don't know if we really got, apart from maybe Phillip Island, there's not really anything else that kind of fits it, really.
Road Atlanta's coming to my mind, but it's probably too undulating. There's too much elevation change at Road Atlanta.
Yeah. I suppose Road Atlanta, and you could run the shorter layout.
Oh, that short layout's terrible.
Yeah. Spicy. But that kind of gives the same sort of
rapidness of the British tracks.
Yeah, you got the S's, and then you take that right instead of going up to the two right-handers. That'd be spicy. May have to look into that, maybe. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anyone's interested after listening to this. If anyone's going to listen to this, who knows? And yeah. Right.
And there's still the fabled Skippy, either one-off race or a mini-series of that as well. And, you know, you get lost in these ideas of, we could run a series of this, and run a series of this, and run a series of this, and then suddenly you realise that there's not actually enough days in the week left anymore.
No, that's it. I mean, I just like the 992. I just like it. It's a nice car.
I had a bit of a fantasy theory the other day about if the GT3, you know, we've mentioned previously about top split and the Club 1500 being in different classes of cars.
Mm-hmm.
So if it turned into GTE versus the Porsche Cup, because we found that the GTE, because it's not been updated with its tyres, is actually sometimes slower than the GT3s, didn't we?
Yeah.
Was it me, you and Steve did that test?
Me, you and Steve did a little test, yeah.
Whereas I would like to think that the GTEs would be faster than the Porky Cup at least. But both cars don't have the ABS, so they've got the actual challenge of driving them.
We'll have to try that out.
I don't know. It'd be fun, I think.
We'll have to experiment.
Every time we ask the masters about it, everyone wants to stay in the same class of car anyway. So
yeah. It's going to be Yeah, it's to keep an eye on, because thing is, iRacing forget about certain series of cars and they just end up dying a death, unfortunately.
Yes.
So it'd be one to watch and keep an eye on. Right, one more thing before we go. Any more Wizards teams coming out of the woodworks?
Have you got a team sorted for next year?
Me?
Yep.
Well, yeah, probably still Risky Racing Orange.
Damn it.
You know, I mean, if you want to plan if we could write up a contract to plan a merger, and we'll just run Risky Racing 2 under the Wizards of Risk and Roast.
Well, we did merge for Spa, of course, didn't we? The Spa 24.
Spa, yeah. Yes.
The most horrendous livery I've ever helped create.
Yeah, that's awful. I'll work on one if Merriam wants to work on one as well. And we can.
I think as a quick description for anyone that wasn't unfortunate enough to see it, it was the sort of the end of last season's Risky livery with last season's Wizards livery, but on sort of opposing corners of the car.
Yeah, it's like one of those Cabbage Patch cars.
It was awful. It was purposely awful. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but, yeah, it was.
It was something else. It was something else. But each to their own. Each to their own. Right, I don't think I've got anything else to talk about. Is there anything you have to talk about, or anything you wanted to discuss or promote? Do you want to promote your Twitch and your YouTube channel?
No, it'd be right. Go to YouTube/Risky Race and watch them instead. They're way better.
Oh, I don't know about that. Well, if you want to watch someone who actually streams properly, then go to twitch.tv/Don Parker Racing, I think it is.
I think it's just Don Parker.
Just Don Parker now. And he's also on the YouTubes, which
that
I
is
believe
under
is Don Parker Racing.
Yeah, that's correct. But now you've put some pressure on me to actually do a race sometime. Because I can't remember the last time I actually did a race.
Do some hot lap challenges.
Yeah.
Do some hot lap challenges. I reckon we should get on a set of courses soon and piss around with some drift cars or something.
In the toilet bowl?
In a toilet bowl, yeah. Or we do that double-decker race with the bus drivers, because there's 4 of us now. So,
Buses versus Reliant Robin.
Battle of the bus drivers.
Yeah.
I'm in. Right, well, I think we should call it there.
Sounds good to me.
26 minutes on this part, and it's 21 minutes on the other one, so we've done over 45 minutes.
We've done over the quota.
We've done over the quota, so they can have an extra long one, because it's been 2 weeks, if not longer. So, it's a bye from me.
It's a tatty bye from me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and I believe if we don't get the recording done, the next guest could be a Mr. Winslade, which should be spicy. We just got to book in the days. So keep your eyes peeled, and we'll have that out at some point in the next coming weeks. So I shall catch you later. Bye.
Bye.